Greetings, music lovers. Welcome to another episode of the Raaga Room with Deepa Joshi. The best way to make children good is to make them happy, is what the Irish poet Oscar Wilde said. A quote that completely resonates with our guest today, a Grammy Award winner for Best Children's Album, Falu Shah. Falu has been instilling a sense of wonder while educating our little friends about our culture, all wrapped up so beautifully in her mellifluous music. Come join us in this conversation as we learn about Falu and her journey. Falu Shah is a Grammy Award winning, internationally recognized artist known for her rare ability to seamlessly blend a signature modern inventive style with a formidable Indian classically shaped vocal talent. In her early years in Bombay, Falu Shah was trained rigorously in the Jaipur musical tradition and in the Benares style of Thumrie under the legendary Kaumudi Munshi and semi-classical music from Uday Mazumdar. She later continued studying under the late sarangi vocal master Ustad Sultan Khan and later with the legendary Srimati Kishori Amonkar, the Jaipur style. Originally from Bombay, Falu moved to the United States in 2000 and was appointed as a visiting lecturer at Tufts University. Falu's subsequent career in the States had led to a series of collaborations with worldwide recognized artists such as Yo-Yo Ma, Wyclef Jean, Philip Glass, Ricky Martin, Blues Traveler, and A.R. Rahman, amongst others. Falu was appointed Carnegie Hall's Ambassador of Indian Music in 2006, where her shows at Zankel Hall have consistently sold out. Falu has performed for President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama at the White House and was also the featured performer at the Time 100 Gala in 2009. Her first album, Falu, was featured in Smithsonian's National Music of Natural History's Beyond Bollywood exhibit as representative of the voice of Indian American trend-setting artists. Falu was an integral part of Givenchy's September 11 show in New York City, where she performed for a star-studded audience. She continues to pursue her commitment to introducing children to the wonders of the world through both of her Grammy-nominated kids project, Falu's Bazaar, and Grammy-winning follow-up album, A Colorful World, which takes families on a musical journey through South Asia and the day-to-day of a child's wonder, as well as through her artist-in-residence position at Carnegie Hall. She also sits on the New York chapter Board of Governors for the Recording Academy. Falu has performed over 500 concerts in the US and around the world. The artist has been featured in the New York Times, Rolling Stone, and Billboard magazine, among many others. And it is our great pleasure to have Falu Shah right here with us at the Raaga Room. Hello, Falu. Namaste. Thank you so very much for coming to the Raaga Room.
Thank you for having me. Namaste to everyone who's watching and of course you, Deepa ji.
I've when I watch your work and I've been following you, and I keep thinking that to create anything of value, foundation is such an important thing. And the kind of foundation that you have had, the training under legendary gurus like Ustad Sultan Khan, Kishori Amonkar, and such a rigorous and robust practice sessions, trainings. Would you like to talk to us about some of those, please?
Yeah. You're right. The way you're right to say I'm very lucky, absolutely, to have gurus of this caliber who are the legends in their fields. Also including Kaumudi Munshi from Benares Gharana, disciple of Siddheshwari Devi, and Uday Mazumdar. They also had a big, big, big hand in my training. They were my first gurus, and they still are. Um, it takes, I think, a lot of. I believe in karma, So maybe my parents did some really good things that I got such gurus to work with. I believe that cycle of life, and it was a blessing because my cradle was my mother who sang. And I grew up in a musical household, and then followed by going to all these teachers and learning from them rigorously, sometimes even staying at their houses, and just not gurus were everything for me in my student life, even now in my life. And when what you learn from these amazing gurus is not just music, of course, that's the first thing you learn, but also approach in music and approach in life and in everything you see, do, and think. So they process and they add knowledge to your thoughts, to your well-being, to your existence, and they show you the art of living. So I think my gurus are my foundation. There's no second, there's no second way I could have done it.
How beautifully said. And you articulated it just the way that it should be. And it's also symbiosis too, isn't it? I mean, now you're working with children, and you're creating such a sense of wonder. You're instilling that in the minds of children. So to have those gurus, you said, yes, luck is definitely one thing, but it also followed with a lot of riyas from your side, commitment from your side, dedication from your side. And I think gurus also feel very happy, and they thrive from the success of the students and how well they're doing.
Oh yeah,
So
it's a legacy. It is. I'm not separate from them. I'm them and they are me. And what I will leave behind in my son and the other kids that I have a chance to interact with will be that something I passed on to. Our music is obviously generationally passed on orally. So it's very important that the next generation learns and keeps this and survives this so they can pass it to their next. Otherwise, there's no way it's going to be alive. And what a sad thing it would be to lose Indian classical music. Like I cannot imagine a world without that. It has the wisdom, it has the knowledge, it has everything that a universe wants to tell you. So we just become a vehicle for the universe to teach us the best things in life.
how lovely, beautiful. And coming from a perfect classical background, and then you moved to the United States in 2000. So how did it pivot? And now you're working on a genre that's your own, if I am not
Indie Hindi, yeah.
Indie Hindi.
Yeah, Ustad Sultan Khan always, he was a very open-minded and he was a futuristic person, even though he didn't even finish school. Something about him always told me that you should learn Indian classical, but you should not learn other things. So when I came to America, he made me learn pop rock. He made me learn songwriting, composition, how you arrange and look at the harmony with the melody, all of that. He himself was such a innovative maestro that it was only a matter of time where I would follow his legacy. And when he toured with the Beatles, with Madonna, and with all these other superstars, he saw that the West has something to offer that we can adopt. And why should I be deprived of that while I'm here? Soak it up. So I took everything I could. I obviously, the new music is a vast ocean. The more deeper you go, the more you realize you don't know anything. So, I'm still learning. I'm a lifelong student. And, Khan Sahib always made me make sure that I adopted from other surroundings.
Wonderful. Um, your success or the achievements are so many and in a really short span of time. And I wrote it down, so I could just talk about it a little. Your first album, Falu, was featured in Smithsonian's National Museum of Natural History's Beyond Bollywood exhibit as representative of the voice of Indian American trend-setting artists. You were named as 20 most influential global Indian women by Economic Times, and several other. I could go on about this. So, how, these are lifetime dreams. One of them would be a lifetime dream to some, but so many accomplishments. Just do take us through your journey from how it all started and how you've been making these beautiful strides.
I was, it's it's luck many times. You are in the right place at the right space with the right people, and something triggers and you catch, and that happens. So luck is definitely a very big factor, but I take failures very positively. So if I wanted to try something and it didn't work, I wouldn't sit and cry. I would just move on, learn from it and move on. So my motto in life is always like, let's go, let's keep moving forward. And that's what I think, that desire and drive would absolutely contribute in doing anything in life that you want to, right? So
True. Every failure is an opportunity to do something, try something better than we did the last time. And probably even if it did work, the second time when it works even better than the previous time, I guess. I completely understand. And as we were just talking about in the beginning, to instill a sense of wonder in children is such a fabulous thing because it is so gratifying. It's a very rewarding experience. And you see their eyes light up when they learn something, or when you just encourage them to be imaginative of things, and you are working in that realm. So, how did Falu's Bazaar, or how did your interest in working with children come about in the first place?
well, there's a saying in India, when a child is born, a mother is born, right? And my when I became mom to a 4-year-old, when my son was 4-year-old preschooler in New York City, he started having identity crisis. And I wanted to tell my little kid that what you have is amazing. Don't ever feel embarrassed. Embrace your heritage, embrace your culture, because this is the wisdom of 5,000-year-old ancestors that have left for you. How do you say it to a 4-year-old, right? So I started making songs for him with like haldi, namak, and then masalas and pots and pans and everything that's Indian that is so cool, that we find it where we take it for granted. But for American people, it's like, wow, what's a haldi, turmeric, what's a ajwain? For them, these
Exotic.
are exotic. So, wanted my son to realize that everything he has is golden. That started my journey to write songs for kids. And that led to Falu's Bazaar. And I think all the immigrant communities in America, they saw somewhere that their culture also, they don't know what to give, they don't know what to not give. So that struggle of an immigrant mother trying to salvage her culture, but at the same time being adopting American culture to the child, it resonated with a lot of immigrant communities, and that's how the Grammy nomination came in. And then the second one won a Grammy because of the universal message, which is, we are all human beings, we are different, but just like crayons live peacefully in a box, not losing their identities, we can do that. We can do that too.
Oh, wonderful. That is so nice to hear. And do tell us about your experience itself. Like, you did talk about how it came up to the nomination, but your journey into it and leading to it and until the day off.
It was always a surprise. Like I didn't write it for anybody. Like I wrote it for my child. Sometimes the mother's voice or the inner voice that comes out for just a personal experience can resonate with different people in different settings. And when the nomination ended up, I was like, really? I just wrote it for my son. Like I had no desire to even for this album to leave my apartment. But my manager submitted and it landed a nomination. And then after that, once you kind of are recognized as a South Asian doing adult music and kids music, then things fly. And then the colorful album happened. So it's really like, when I think about it, I'm like, what just happened? Like, even for me, nothing was planned, really. It was all, I just was loving my child, really. It was just a mom
And
loving the kid and trying to educate him and give him a sense of belonging. That's all I wanted to do.
it's such a beautiful flower when it sprouts from a place of love, and
Yeah.
you've given it so much that everybody resonated with it.
I just spotted like stuff we can all think about as parents, because we're all struggling. What do we give our children? I don't know.
Wow. I wish I knew this when I was much younger. My son is in college now, but I wish I knew it then. um, you were also, like we talked about, you were, let me just go back to this. In the year 2015, you were named the 20 most influential global Indian women by Economic Times. In 2018, you won the Women's Icon of India Award. How, let's say, in a global realm, how do you work on eliminating roadblocks? There will be several challenges, and how do you deal with these things and make a mark for yourself?
I actually don't. I just keep going. Like, I listen to my heart. So if my heart wants to write a song about poverty, I'm going to do it. If my heart wants to write a song for a child, I'm going to do it. When creativity comes, I do not block it. I let it flow. That's my mission. Like, if I'm feeling about writing for a fish or a plant or an animal, I'm going to do it without thinking, oh, what is it going to be perceived as, or what is the audience going to feel? Because for me, music is internal. It's looking inward. Music gives me a way to look inside me inwardly and feel what I'm inside. So if I start thinking strategies and blocking creativities, then it's going to be very mapped out and measured, and and a musician's life has to be flowing, because life is flowing, right? Water is flowing, life is flowing. So if you think about all the steps that you're doing, and, oh, am I going to get this? No. I just listen to my heart. I keep promoting, I keep singing, and I keep just doing what feels in the moment. I live in the moment. I do not think about future. um and do the best, make the best of where I am right now.
Aligning with the energies that are creative, aligning with a thought that does something to us, and it takes a beautiful shape when
Yeah.
it's always evolving. It just is not a static thing at all.
Yeah. And if I stop creativity, then I don't know. I've never done it, so I don't know how it feels.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that when there is a gush of it, there is nothing that can stop it, because your mind is so wired. It's and that's such and when anybody experiences it, it is such a beautiful thing that happens inside our heads. I think everybody should experience those moments.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't fight. I just let it be, flow.
so lovely. While the awards and accolades, they all validate what we do, but for any creative person, when you have these thoughts go into you, I think I hope I'm saying in this in a way that it makes sense, that any thought that goes through us, we don't know that we are capable of doing a certain thing, but just because we are trying something new, we are like, yeah, I think I can align myself with this. And sometimes it could be that's something that is very own to us. So we discover ourselves in this creative journey, in this creative processes that we go through. So how have some of these moments nourished you, or some good beautiful moments that go through your mind?
You know, moments are very important in life, whether it is sad. When I lost my dad, I was completely devastated, and I was grieving. And I was in that moment. I was grieving, and nothing could stop me from grieving. So again, I'm the person who lives day by day, minute by minute. Today, if I have to do this, I'll do it. And I never fight nature. And that brings feelings, that brings relationships, that brings struggles, that brings blessings, that brings prayers, everything. So my teacher had taught me this very beautiful thing, says it's flow like a river, never look back. And that's what I do in my life as a musician, as a mother, as a wife, as a sister, as a daughter. I just flow like a river, and I let life lead me.
So nice. Creative brain is an evolving brain. It just doesn't stop. It's like you said, you just flow with it. So in that regard, I'm sure there are several creative offerings that you might be working on. Anything that you would like to share with us, please?
Sure. We actually are working on releasing a new album. It's called American Patchwork Quartet with the other band, and we do American folk songs with Indian spice. And then, I'm a spiritual person, so I always go back and ask, like, what can I give my community? And I still don't have the answer, but I'm searching right now. So I'm in a searching phase. Nothing has clicked. When it clicks, but I'm sure there are many things that I'll be doing in the meantime. I'm going to India to tour this month in December, and I'll be going and meeting people and singing songs for so many new audiences. So it'll be, starting December 8th, I'll be in India. So want to make sure that people who want to check out my music live can come. I'll be in Pune, Goa, Bombay, and more. So right now I'm in a touring mode, which is also important because that gives you the live energy of, continuing music with people and sharing the experience live, which is also as important as recording.
It's really all about energies. And when you were talking about you want to be able to give something to the community, and you said that you're still searching, but I think you already have started, in the sense that your energy is that you exude. I think people get a lot from it. This is something that's not tangible, but I have felt like that whenever I meet artists like you. Every artist that comes into Raaga Room, I end up getting so much, and it enriches me as a person. And that is really very important, I think, for any human being, to absorb these energies, to align with these energies that do good to us. And very rightly, you said, that spiritualistic journey, I think, lets us seek for things, look inward, be happy, be grateful, be content. And all the beautiful things start from that place.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm a spiritual person, and constantly dealing with how can I be a better mom? How can I be a better wife or daughter? How do I contribute to the society with music? Because that's all I know. So musically, if I can make contributions for social justice, that's something I'm very passionate about.
Wonderful. I wish you all the very best for all your projects. May you do more. May you find a lot of success. And I hope your trip to India is very successful, very gratifying in a way that makes you happy. So thank you so very much for spending this time with me, and I appreciate you coming to the Raaga Room. Thank you so very much, Val.
Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Bye. Dear friends, we hope you enjoyed watching this episode of the Raaga Room just as much as we did bringing it to you. Please continue to follow us on our website, www.theragaroom.com, for more information. Thank you and have a wonderful day.